We're rolling.
Another episode of Mayberry Memories.
That's right. We're going to talk about Opie the Birdman, right?
Yep. Episode 1, Season 4.
Correct. And this is one of those episodes that is beloved by Griffith fans. It's been ranked by TV Guide as, I believe, one of the top 10. I think they ranked it as number 2. So,
by the way, let's quickly mention the shirts we're wearing today.
Oh, yeah.
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd. Rock on!
Do you want to tell them where you got the shirts?
Got them from Mount Airy,
and
North Carolina.
Thanks for the shirt. I like it a lot.
Yeah. The real Mayberry.
How was the trip to
It was
Mayberry?
Delightful. We had a great time. A big thank you to my wife for having a business reason to go out in that neck of the woods and let me tag along.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kim. All right, so topic at hand is Opie the Birdman. So the premise is?
Opie gets a slingshot.
Yeah.
And
had one of those.
Yeah, we've all had a slingshot. We've all done stupid things with slingshots, probably. And then he, on the way home, he accidentally kills a bird and doesn't realize there's some baby birds in the nest.
Yeah.
So he ends up taking care of the baby birds.
Winking, blinking, and nod.
Blinking and nod, yes.
Yes.
And of course, there is some comedy in the show. No appearance by Floyd.
No appearance by Floyd.
Floyd happens to be one of my favorite characters. He's not in the show.
Too.
But the comedy from, of course, Barney showing off his slingshot skills.
Yeah. With the lack thereof.
Behind the back.
So when I had a slingshot as a kid, that's exactly what happened with me. Is there somehow the rock got all the way out of our yard and into their garage and broke the light that was above the carport light.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I remember that still. So nothing good happens with slingshots.
Yeah. Did you have the kind that you pull back and shoot like that?
No, I did not have the wrist rock. I kind of had the
you had an
sling,
actual slingshot,
like the David and Goliath.
Yeah, nothing good comes from those. Dad taught me how to make those as well, and I remember my friends and I making some and heading down on towards the railroad tracks and aiming at some power poles with it,
which makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
why wouldn't
of course.
you?
And shooting rocks down towards the power lines and. It wasn't very long before Union Pacific. It's either Union Pacific or Utah Power. Some truck pulled up. Somebody had reported us and wanted our names. I gave them a fake name.
You did.
I
Opie
did.
Cunningham.
And then we headed back to our house, and there was no harm. We didn't hit anything. We weren't very good shots with the slingshot. But anyways, back to the.
Yeah, so I think one of the reasons this is such a popular episode is because we can all relate to things. We've done as kids that, hopefully in most cases we didn't have to pay the price that Opie pays here, and that realizes he's done something that he can't take back.
No.
He's taken a life.
Well, he feels terrible about it. He kind of tries to hide it, but ultimately, everybody can recognize that something's going on. He's not himself, and his dad figures out that he killed the birds.
Punishment comes. He takes the slingshot away from Opie.
Yeah.
And it kind of leaves him with, what are you going to do about this?
Well, Opie says, are you going to spank me or are you going to whip me? I can't remember what he says. And he says, no. And he opens up that bedroom window of Opie's window and makes him sit and listen to the birds crying for their mom. He says, you just listen to this for a while.
Yeah, wow. What tough. So the next morning he decides he's going to be...
Going to take care of them. He's going to be the mom.
Be the mom.
Yeah.
Winking, blinking, and nod. Going to take care of them. And the rest of the episode, or at least a good portion of it, is him raising those little birds to the point where they're able to go off on their own.
Yeah, they're ready to go off on their own, ready to be kicked out of the nest, so to say.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to, but he does.
Yep. So it kind of comes full circle.
Yeah, great episode.
It really is. It's I think as I reflect on this episode, why is it so good? And I've got to point to Ron Howard.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid.
Well, and Andy Griffith is always awesome.
Yeah.
But Ron Howard, for the age he was a fantastic little actor.
Yeah. The kid was just. I don't think as I think about child actors these days, I can't think of anyone that's as good as Ron Howard was or is. He's just a phenomenal actor. Really, he pulls it off.
Agreed. And by the way, that background noise, apologize for that if it wasn't too much.
Hopefully.
We're here at the Zion's Ranch, Zion's Ponderosa Ranch.
Yeah.
Just outside
Near
of Zion's
Zion
Park.
National Park.
And with some ATVers going behind us. Hopefully you can hear all of that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
But Ron Howard, just phenomenal.
He is.
actor.
He's a great actor.
As a matter of fact, I was just reading the other day, or actually I wasn't reading, I saw a thing on Henry Winkler, and he was talking about Ron Howard during their Happy Days when they were filming that together, and he talked about Ron Howard pulling him aside. Ron was 18-ish. Henry was in his mid-20s, and Ron pulling Henry aside because it was during the first season, maybe even the first episode, and there were jitters, right? Henry was having jitters, and Ron pulled him aside and said, hey, let me tell you this, gave him some hints, and Henry was talking about just here this kid was, just a kid, but the consummate professional, friendly, kind, wanting to see not only himself be successful, but others around him as well. Just a great story. And, you can pick that up in Ron Howard's performance. This is just a good kid.
Yeah.
So anything else that really struck you about this particular episode?
Not really. Again, it's just a fun episode. Watching little Ronnie Howard perform as Opie. He was fantastic in it, and
everybody's good in it. I think it's a great performance by Griffith as well. And of course, as usual, Don Knotts is hilarious.
We didn't even talk about Don Knotts doing all the different bird calls.
Yeah,
the whistling. He's fantastic.
Yeah, he's Don is the best. Seriously, I think there's none funnier in this world than Don Knotts.
And Don Knotts and Tim Conway together.
Oh my gosh.
Kenny, don't get started on
Don't even get us started on that, whether it's the Private Eyes,
Apple Dumpling Gang,
Prize
Fighter.
I had forgotten about the Prize Fighter. I have not thought about the Prize Fighter for years. Yeah. Is that even out?
I don't know if you can find that
on
the
Prize Fighter. If anybody knows where you can find the Prize Fighter, please comment.
Tim Conway, Don Knotts.
Yeah,
the Prize Fighter.
I've seen that once.
I've seen it once too.
Just at the theater.
Yep. Yeah, let us know if you know where to find it.
I've seen The Private Eyes a couple of times.
Yes.
That was out on video at least for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course the Disney stuff is readily available.
You
know what I'd like to see, speaking of Don Knotts, is you remember Gus? Was that Tim Conway or that was Don?
I think that's Don Knotts.
Holy cow, man! I don't
remember that.
That's that mule kicking, field goal kicking. Oh my gosh, we should get back to the topic at hand, which is the Andy Griffith Show. One of the great episodes. It's one that I have been wanting to talk about for a while, just because, like I said, I love the performances there. I love the story there. I love the fact that they were willing to tackle a tough subject, but still within the framework of a comedy, right?
Yeah. There wasn't a lot of comedy in this episode, but it was a heart-touching episode. So I'm glad they did it.
Yep.
We've had the chance to review it.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Steve and I would appreciate it. And thank you very much for watching.